Okay, let's talk about something that's probably in your medical chart right now, your allergy list. You know, you see penicillin on there, maybe some sulfa drugs, but what if I told you that for a whole lot of people, that list, well, it's just plain wrong.
Take a look at this number. Over 90%. That is a huge majority, right? So what in the world is this referring to?
Well, it's all about this. The single most common drug allergy listed in our records, penicillin. It turns out that for more than 9 out of 10 people who think they're allergic, they can actually take it without any problem at all.
And look, this isn't just some minor typo in your file. This kind of mislabeling has real, actual consequences for your health. It can force your doctors to use second-choice drugs that might not work as well, could be more expensive, or even come with worse side effects.
So you have to wonder, how did we get here? How did so many charts get it so wrong? Let's kind of pull back the curtain on this whole myth of the allergy list and find out why yours might just be a work of fiction.
It usually boils down to one of 4 main culprits. First up, simple side effects, like feeling nauseous, get mistaken for a full-blown allergic reaction. Second, maybe you had a reaction when you were just a little kid, it got written down, and then nobody ever questioned it again. Third, a really common one. A kid gets a rash from a virus, but it gets wrongly blamed on the antibiotic they were taking at the time. And finally, and this is a big one, many true allergies just fade away over time.
Okay, so this brings us to probably the most fundamental mix-up of them all, confusing a real allergy with a simple side effect. And let me be clear, they are absolutely not the same thing.
So what is a true drug allergy? It's an immune system problem. It means your body's defense system messes up and identifies a harmless drug as a dangerous invader and then launches an attack. The 2 key words to remember here are reproducible and immune-mediated.
And this is where it gets really clear. An actual allergic reaction involves things like hives, swelling of your lips or tongue, maybe trouble breathing, and in the worst cases, anaphylaxis. A side effect, on the other hand, is a predictable, non-immune thing like nausea, a headache, or feeling dizzy. Annoying? You bet. An allergy? Nope.
So let's really zero in on the biggest offender here, penicillin, to understand how this happens. But just keep in mind, everything we're about to talk about, it applies to a lot of other supposed allergies too.
I mean, just look at the scale of this problem. That tiny little sliver, less than 10%, represents the people who are genuinely allergic. The rest of that massive circle, those are all the people walking around with a penicillin allergy label who could take it just fine after a proper evaluation. It's wild.
So why does this even happen? How can an allergy just vanish? Well, a lot of these allergies are what's called IgE-mediated. You can think of IgE as your immune system's allergy memory. But here's the thing. For about half of people, that memory fades a lot within just 5 years. And after 10 years, for about 80% of people, it's totally gone. Your body literally forgets it was ever allergic. So, see, when you put it all together, the rashes that were really viruses, the side effects that got mislabeled, and this natural fading of the allergy itself, you land right back at that staggering statistic. Over 90% of these labels are just wrong.
Okay, so if the list is wrong, how do we fix it? What's the path to getting an accurate list? Thankfully, there's a very safe, very well-established process to get to the truth.
It's this really neat 5-step process called delabeling. It all starts with a doctor carefully going over your medical history, like what really happened. Then they figure out your risk level. From there, they might do simple things like a skin test or a supervised oral challenge. And if you pass, which again, most people do, that false allergy is officially removed or delabeled from your chart. Bam! Done.
And of course, safety is absolutely #1 here. So good candidates for testing are people with low-risk stories. You know, maybe a vague rash when you were a kid, a reaction that was more than a decade ago, or something that was clearly just a side effect like nausea. But if the story involves a severe reaction like anaphylaxis or trouble breathing, that's a different ballgame. That's when a specialist needs to get involved.
And I have to be incredibly crystal clear on this one point. There is a small group of very severe, life-threatening skin reactions, things like Stevens-Johnson syndrome or SJS. These are permanent. These are not the kind of allergies that fade away, and they must never, ever be tested or re-challenged.
So why go through all this trouble? Why does having an accurate list matter so much? Because this isn't just about cleaning up paperwork. This is really about your safety and making sure you get the best care possible. This quote just says it all, perfectly. When you're really sick, you want your doctors to have every possible tool in their toolbox.
A wrong allergy label basically ties their hands. Correcting it opens up more options and, frankly, makes your care a whole lot safer, especially when things are serious and every second counts.
And the payoff is huge. I mean, we're talking about getting access to the first choice, best choice medications. We're talking about avoiding stronger, riskier antibiotics. This helps us fight antibiotic resistance for everyone. It improves your safety in an emergency, and it gives both you and your doctors some serious peace of mind. So here's the bottom line, the big takeaway from all of this. That allergy list that you've maybe been carrying around in your chart for years, it isn't just a harmless little note. It's an active piece of your medical record that could be putting your health at risk.
Which really just leaves us with one final, very important question. It might be time to take a closer look and ask your doctor, what's really on your allergy list?